Hey, what's going on, you guys? SPC here, and welcome to the top 10 Star Wars movies that I want to see. And now, guys, these are just my personal opinions. Let me know down in the comments section below which ones you would like to see. So, like I said, we are going to be showing the top 10 that I would like to see, because I just think these movies would be just fantastic. And also would really tie in a lot of things together. So, I guess, without further ado, let's get into the first movie. Now, guys, I know a lot of people want to see a Boba Fett movie, but I would much rather see a Bounty Hunters movie. Just because I think it would just be more, I guess we can say, like, to me, it'd be more interesting instead of just seeing one specific bounty hunter. Because personally, to me, I don't think Boba Fett is really all that great of a character. I'm sorry if I offended anybody, but I don't. I just think showing more like Bosk and IG-88, Dengar, and Boba Fett, I mean, showing all the things that they all do would be cool. I mean, also seeing, Boba Fett along with Han Solo, because I hear he's supposed to appear in the Han Solo movie, but I'm not quite sure if that's true or not. But it'd just be cool to get things from other perspectives. So now the next set of movies I would like to see would be the Aftermath books. If you have not read any of these Aftermath books, guys, you need to go and get them. I'm currently on the first one. I hear so far Empire's End is the best. But I mean, there are multiple characters in that entire book that are just absolutely phenomenal, and it ties in so much with The Force Awakens and Return of the Jedi. And of course, Empire's End, we get to Jakku. We actually get to the Battle of Jakku, which is pretty cool. And the Life Debt movie, or I guess books, sorry, you would end up seeing, I can't remember the characters, but I know that they would go with Chewbacca to Kashyyyk and actually go and look for him because he went there to try and free some slaves. So yeah, guys, these Aftermath would be a nice trilogy of movies. So guys, next up is Inferno Squad. Of course, you guys do know by now that Inferno Squad features Iden Versio, who is the main antagonist in the new Star Wars Battlefront 2 video game. Of course, as we all know, also, she ends up going to the rebellion because she doesn't like the way that the Empire is currently running itself. It's basically running itself into the ground. But I would like to see the entire campaign played out in live action, because it would just be a really interesting thing to see, especially tying in with Return of the Jedi. Because there's a part in the campaign that you do actually get to go and play on Endor immediately after Han Solo destroys the generator. And now, guys, this next one ties in with the last two movies, and that is the Battle of Jakku. Because actually, towards the end of the original campaign, Iden ends up going to Jakku with her, I guess, partner Del. But lots of things happen on Jakku. It would obviously tie in a lot for The Force Awakens, because apparently Emperor Palpatine, this was like his big main planet of what he wanted to see. Or I guess where he wanted the Empire to reign more supreme at. Because, I mean, like I said, we could see the AT-AT where Rey lives. And, of course, we could see how it affected everybody on Jakku. So, yeah, guys, Battle of Jakku, I think, would be an interesting movie. Now, next up, I want to see the life of a Stormtrooper, we'll just call it. Because, I mean, basically, they don't really show anything about any Stormtrooper it would just be kind of cool to get like an insight of what it's like to actually become a stormtrooper and actually fight on the battlefront. Kind of see what they go through if they end up leaving the Empire or end up leaving the First Order, whichever. Because we never get a really in-depth look of stormtroopers, so I just think it'd be really interesting to see. Now, guys, next up would be a young Leia movie. And the reason I think this would be so interesting is to see how she actually became Princess of Alderaan. And actually, if you guys have watched the movie or the TV show Stranger Things, Millie Bobby Brown, who plays 11, actually wants to play a young Leia. And I think that'd be a really good, it'd be a really good representation of Leia. Just to see all the adventures she went through. Because, of course, there is the Leia Princess of Alderaan book that is currently out. I have yet to read it. But it kind of shows everything that she went through to become Princess of Alderaan. And, of course, obviously, once again, it would tie in perfectly with A New Hope and probably even part of Rogue One. And then we could see how she became just such this badass character. So definitely, we need a young Leia movie since we're getting a Han Solo movie and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Next, guys, would be the Jedi Trials. Just to see, once again, it'd just be like the Stormtrooper movie. Just kind of see how they find all these Force-sensitive children and they come and pick them up. And then they take them to the temple, train them to become a Jedi. And they just end up becoming powerful and becoming Jedi Knights. And of course, this could tie in with the prequel trilogy, which I know they want to try and stay away from, but you really can't. But I mean, just kind of leading the life of a child, or seeing the life of a child who is Force sensitive, and just kind of watching them become a Jedi Knight would be cool. Next up, this one I definitely want to see because it just aggravates me very much. And that is a Captain Phasma movie. If you guys have not seen The Last Jedi, I'm not going to spoil anything for you, but I'm just going to tell you between The Last Jedi and The Force Awakens, he only gets a little bit of screen time. I will be doing a video about this with Captain Phasma. But currently, as of right now, the only thing we really get about Phasma is the Phasma comic book, and I believe there's a second one out now at the time I made this video. And of course, there's also the Phasma novel. But I would just like to see how Phasma became how she was. I can't remember if she's a bounty hunter or what she exactly is. But I mean, how she was able to join the First Order and how she was able to do what she did. So guys, Captain Phasma, we need a Captain Phasma movie. Next up is Yoda, my most favorite character throughout all of Star Wars. Because we really don't know how Yoda became so powerful, where he came from. We don't know if he's the only one of his race. But the one thing I really would want to know is, since Yoda's so powerful, who was his master? I mean, I think it would be awesome to see kind of where Yoda came from. Because, I mean, it'd be so interesting. Because, I mean, Yoda is the most powerful Jedi, besides, like, Luke Skywalker, Anakin, Obi-Wan. Like, he is, out of all of them, he's the most powerful in the Force. And finally, you guys, we have Darth Vader. And I know a lot of people are going to maybe wrinkle their nose at this or shake their head as to why I think this should happen. I know basically the entire first 6 movies was all about Darth Vader, but I would just like to see everything Vader did between Revenge of the Sith and To A New Hope, because he found countless Jedi, he killed countless Jedis. And it just, so much of a backstory for Vader that we don't entirely have. Because I just think it'd be interesting to follow him on his journey to find all the Jedi from Order 66 who have survived. So guys, that is it. Those are my top 10 Star Wars spin-off movies I would like to see. Like I said, let me know down below in the comments. And like I said before, like, comment, subscribe.